Good evening, dear educators. Uh, we will wait for another 1 minute and then we will start. I believe my voice is clear. Till we have 1 minute more, we will wait and then we will continue. Thank you, Suman ma'am. The participants who have joined. So, good evening, everyone. Today we will explore the integration of Indian art education, bridging creativity with our curriculum. So let's deep dive into it and see what all we are able to get and what all we are able to implement in our classrooms. Hope your joyful learning will be there, and at the end, you will be satisfied with whatever we have exchanged with each other. Art integration in Indian education, bridging creativity with curriculum. So, dear educators, today we are going to explore about art education and how we can bridge up the gap with the creativity which we can actually use in our day-to-day classrooms. So, first of all, it helps students to understand concepts through hands-on learning by a very, very creative method rather than the old traditional method, which is the rote learning or memorizing of the things. I believe you all will agree to it. This approach strengthens observation. When we actually do something, we are very, very minute observer and we are able to do it in a more meaningful and in a more structured form. Our imagination gets enriched, cultural awareness we are able to understand, and a problem solving approach develops in each of us. In the Indian education system, art integration supports overall development, which we call holistic development, my dear friends. It aligns with NEP 2020, which is very, very important for all of us, for all the educators, nurtures joyful learning. Learning does not become monotonous, it does not become rigid, it becomes it's more of fun, it's more of enjoying, and we become learners for lifelong, and we are not able to forget those things in our life. Now, introduction to art integration. What is art integration? First of all, when we are adding something to our classroom experience, to the subjects which we are actually taking in the class, that is called art integration. First of all, art integration means learning by connecting imagination and knowledge. We use our knowledge, we use our imagination to get connected with our students, right? We are just facilitators, we are no more teachers. It helps students to express ideas clearly. They are able to express their emotions in a more clear, in a more crystal manner. Integrating art with academic, that is the subject, encourages deeper understanding, right? We are involved, we are doing multidisciplinary tasks. If we are drawing something, we are actually seeing that thing, we are observing that thing, and we become multidisciplinary. Now, art integration versus traditional art education. Now, when I'm talking about art education, it means integration or imbibing art into our daily classroom practice. It can be any subject. It can be science, maths, physics, chemistry, or anything, right, my dear friends? And when I'm talking about traditional art education, it's actually a skill. We are emphasizing, we are insisting just on one basic topic, right, which the specific teacher has given related to art itself. Now, moving ahead, alignment with NEP 2020 goals. Now, what is alignment with NEP 2020 goals, my dear educators? It encourages creativity, which we have already discussed, critical thinking. Now, again, there is a thin difference between thinking and critical thinking. When I'm telling thinking, we can think in any manner, but when I'm telling the word or using the word critical thinking, my dear educators, it means we have to be little more thoughtful, right? If we are thirsty, we have two options. We have water and we have cold drink. Which one you will prefer? So now critical thinking says that because cold drinks or soft drinks are junk, so we will not consume it. We will go for just plain water. So it's critical thinking. It enhances the critical thinking. Children become more innovative and there is collaboration. Now, collaboration means the child is able to work in peers. The child is able to work in groups, building communication. They are able to be more expressive, right? Not necessary that every child is good in academics, but if a child is good in creativity, like you can see your own classrooms, there are children who are very, very skillful in art and they are able to express themselves beautifully when it comes to art. And when integrating it, collaborating with the friends, it becomes more lively, it becomes more meaningful. The classroom looks more structured, the classroom looks more happy classroom. Develops problem solving abilities through hands-on and real world tasks. Now there are children in our class, if you go across day-to-day situation, who are very good problem solvers. So actually we are able to develop that skill among the students. Supports overall development, essential for future ready learners. We are not preparing learners only for today or for a particular or a specific academic session. We are preparing lifelong learners, right? And alignment with NEP 2020 goals promotes experiential learning. The child is actually experiencing, encourages joyful learning, stressful learning, and it's an inclusive classroom where everyone is being included, no one is left back. Strengthens cultural understanding. We are able to know each other cultures. Like many of you may be of different cultures, different backgrounds. If we will share our ideas and opinions, we will be able to be more thoughtful about each other's culture. Supposed competency based education and overall growth of a child. So naturally competency based, with art integration, it enriches. Now, vision of art integration in Indian education. What are its vision? Vision means they are able to see the things, they are able to identify what will happen in future, right? So first of all, to fuse creativity, inculcate creativity, imbibe creativity with academic excellence for deeper and more engaging learning. So learning becomes more joyful. To nurture thinking, we are asking the student to think, to express, and they appreciate each other's culture. To shift classroom from a rote learning, that old traditional method does not last long, to experiential learning, connected with joyful learning environment. The child does not feel stressed. It becomes he or she is at ease. To develop future ready learners with balanced cognitive. Now the word cognitive means development of our brain, right? Emotions. We became more emotional. We are able to understand each other's perspective and with creative abilities. Now, mandates by CBSE, NCRT, and Ministry of Education. Now, it's compulsory, made by CBSE, NCRT, and Ministry of Education. School must adopt art integration learning across subjects and all grades. Means it's for every class and for all the grades. Now, what are the art forms that the government has asked us to use? CBSE or NCRT suggest it is the local art form to strengthen cultural. We are talking about value based education, right? So from where the values come, if we will know our culture and heritage. Encouragement of project based, it should be project based, it should be multidisciplinary, means art activities in classroom. Like once I was teaching in class 9 the chapter A Truly Beautiful Mind, right? So in that, a portion of physics was also there. So physics was difficult for me to explain to the students, so I requested the science teacher to come and help me out. So this is something multidisciplinary. With English you can combine science also. Integration aligned with assessment practices. Now when we are integrating the art education, so we need to integrate, we need to imbibe it in our practices. Teachers training and capacity building programs required to strengthen art education. So these are very, very important. Now goals. Now of overall development, how we can get it. Fosters creativity. Creativity enhances critical thinking and problem solving approach develops, supports social, emotional, physical, and cognitive growth. We are able to understand the culture, the traditions, the rituals, the rights of the other people, of the other customs and traditions. Build communication means when we are working in a project, in a group, we need to communicate, we need to collaborate, we need to work as a team, and our interpersonal skills also enhances, it upskills, it develops more, encourages self expression. The child is able to express himself or herself more, promoting experiential, joyful, and meaningful learning. Now, the vision is what the art integration is thinking. It's that it should be experiential learning, it should be joyful. The child should not feel monotonous. The child should not undergo the old rote learning method, and the concept should be deep imbibed into his heart. He should be able to take the concept home, should be able to become a lifelong learner in his or her life. Now, making learning more inclusive. Now, what is making learning more inclusive? Respect diverse. If I am right on my part, you may be also right. So we need to be a little more open-minded, and this is how it happens when we are able to understand the cultural differences. And how we are able to understand it? Through visuals, by hearing also, auditory, right? Provides equal opportunities to participation and expressions to every learner. Every learner gets the opportunity to express. Like if suppose I am being asked to tell or discuss about my culture and tradition, I will truly feel very blessed and happy, right? And everyone will agree to it. And if at the same time I get to know about your culture and about your tradition, it will add on to my knowledge. Encourages collaboration. Now, NEP 2020 also suggests that there should be collaboration, there should be teamwork, there should be values in the background, right? Builds a classroom culture where every voice matter, everyone's opinion, everyone's understanding is taken into consideration. And this is how we make meaningful learning, we build lifelong learners. Role of art in cognitive and emotional development. Now, when I'm using the word cognitive, it means brain, and emotional, we should be emotionally stable, right? Build strong connection between thinking, feeling, means how we are thinking, how we are feeling, and how we are able to express it in front of others. Encourages students to explore ideas freely and make sense of the world. Whatever is being asked, they are able to express it in their different creative manners. Supports balanced growth by engaging both mind and emotion, means emotional growth as well as development of the brain is there. It's not that if he or she is writing, development of the brain is there, but emotional sensitivity is zero. So we need to strike a correct balance with our young learners, the Gen Zs. Enhancing creativity, critical thinking, and imagination. We always speak about creativity, right? Critical thinking and imagination allows, now with art integration, it allows learners to think beyond fixed answer and explore multiple possibilities. So lots of responses come which you will never think of, right? Encourages questioning, analyzing, and interpreting concepts independently. You may be right on your part, but my thinking pattern is right, and it may be a possible answer. Now, moving ahead, dear educators, first of all, I would like to say that towards the end, I will be sharing the feedback link. Please give your honest feedback to me. And if you have any query, you can mail me on at navigatemindfully@gmail.com, right? Strengthening memory, motor skills, and problem solving. Hands-on activities improve attention. Attention increases, recall, and long-lasting memory is there. Fine motor task, like if a child is doing drawing, cutting, crafting, so strengthens coordination. So this is very, very important. Creative task helps students to experiment plan and find solution. They are explorers, they are lifelong learners, and they are able to find solution to each and every problem. Just give them an opportunity, and we need to rely and trust on them. Now, supporting emotional intelligence, empathy, and self expression. In a heterogeneous classroom, you might have seen that there are different varieties of students. And with art expression, we are able to help them. Provides a safe space of expressing feelings, like you might have observed the movie where the child has expressed his or her thought in the form of drawing Tare Zami Pe, right? So it's a beautiful thing. It's all due to art. So feelings, thoughts, expression, they are able to depict, they are able to portray very nicely, which we can never think of. Help students understand others' perspectives, build empathy, we are able to understand each other's problem, and we are becoming more social. Social awareness increases, encourages confidence. See, earlier there were classrooms in which only the child who was academically very sound was appreciated. Now, because we are talking about holistic report card, right, and all these things are taken into consideration, so no child feels left behind. Every child has got a skill, a talent, and that we need to trigger out. Moving ahead, dear educators, art as a pedagogical tool. Right, uses creative mediums to make learning interactive. It should be more interactive, meaningful, and student centered. We are now facilitators, right? So we just need to help them out with the problems they are coming across. Help simplify complex ideas through visuals. Like when we see the thing, we retain it for a more longer time. Now, auditory is there, experiential methods are there. Suppose if I'm talking about a particular place of our country itself, you have a little imagination about that place, right? But when you will actually visit that place, you will get to know more, and you will be able to express more. And this is what NEP 2020 is always talking about. Encourages active participation, exploration. Explorers means move beyond the boundaries and find out new things, and high order thinking arises due to it. Now, visual arts, performing art, literary art, and traditional as the word suggests, visual, जो देख के ही समझ में आए, right? So diagrams are there, drawings are there, mind maps are there. Now you might have seen many textbooks specifically of the language. Mind maps are there, posters are there, and it adds on to our knowledge. Performing art, where the child is actually performing on a stage or on a road or in our school, right? It can be role play, it can be drama, it can be dance. All these are part of art integration, right? Literary, where the child is writing. It can be story, it can be poems, it can be scripts, so which add on, right? And every child is able to express himself or herself in different manner. Now, traditional craft, like when we talk about traditional craft, actually the local materials which are available, like whether it's weaving, whether it's clay work, whether it's pottery, or whether it's any other handicraft, when we explore those possible opportunities, we get to know a lot, right? And skill development, skill enhancement, our government always insists. So a child is actually learning a skill, a child is actually knowing a skill, the child is able to know a lot many things about the skills which are not only in our country but at a global platform, right? Now, how art can teach abstract and difficult concepts. Yes, it's very important. Now, this question has been asked many a times. See, art integration can teach us difficult concepts, like convert abstract ideas into concrete. Now, when there are visuals, they are able to understand it at ease. Offers hands-on experience. जब हम देखते हैं ना, तो हमें समझ में भी ज़्यादा आता है. That makes challenging topic. We are able to correlate. We are able to relate the things with our day-to-day activities and experiences, and it becomes a memorable and a more thoughtful approach. Allows students to explore concepts through experiments. Children are inquisitive learner. They are able to experiment, right, with new ideas which we can never never even think of. Support diverse learner. Now, a lot of learners are there and multiple formats you will be able to get. Now, interdisciplinary approach, combining math, science, language, and social science with arts. You all have might heard about STEM education, that it's science, technology, mathematics, and engineering, right? Now, the government is again talking about that STEM approach should be there in our curriculum, right? So, what happens? Whether it's maths pattern, uh, symmetries are there, mandalas are there, clay is there, geometric art is there, that makes teaching more interesting and interactive, and the child becomes is able to understand. Now if I talk about science, अब हमने बच्चों को बताया कि evaporation कैसे होता है या life of a butterfly, but when the child is actually drawing it, or maybe the sprouting of the seed and turns into a plant, it will add on to his knowledge, right? Language, storytelling, script writing, poetry, and illustrations to enhance. The child is able to think beyond the boundaries, beyond the books. Now, social science, role plays, nukkad nataks, timelines, craft-based project, cultural performance. See, so we have a rich heritage. We are able to know about diverse culture, and it adds on to our knowledge. Now, there are various types of art integration, and what are they? Subject based, as the name suggests, subject. तो वो subject से जुड़ा हुआ है. Example, drawing plant life cycle and science, so it's subject based. Now, theme based. When I'm talking about theme, now I came to know the word thematic. Right? I went to Allahabad and there I saw thematic lights, means theme based lights. And what was actually it is, on the poles it was all related to religion, right? तो कहीं पर वो शंकर जी वाला लाइट था, कहीं पर वो हनुमान जी वाला. So these are called thematic, and integrating it with festivals, with community, with seasons add on to our knowledge. Connecting learning to broader themes such as festivals, seasons, community, etc. तो thematic एक theme लेके they are working. हम बोलते हैं ना theme based annual function should be there. So we are picking up a theme and then we are working upon it. Allows multiple subjects to link, and when we are talking about theme, so multiple subjects can be we can teach them in an interdisciplinary manner. Encourages cultural awareness. We are able to know about the culture, the religion, the tradition, the rituals of people. Help student to see learning as a unified whole. So we are able to understand the things of the other people, of the other community, of the other traditions, and we think beyond boundaries. We do not just get confined to ourselves. Now, skill based education, skill, hunar, right? Example, communication, collaboration, right? So communication is a skill, collaboration sabko ikhatta karke and then make them work. Again, it's a skill, a very important skill, which our government is constantly encouraging. Focuses on building essence in the 21st century, and it's an artistic skill. Enhances communication, creativity, and critical thinking. I know I cannot take work from this specific person. Now what's my skill? How to deal with that person in a communication way that he or she should not refuse. Supports holistic growth, and it builds the social emotional abilities to get connected with a person. Now, project-based integration is there, creating heritage model or short films. Now, encourages students to plan, design, and create meaningful outputs over time. Give them the opportunity and they will display their talent more than what our expectations is. Example, making heritage models, specifically in social science. There are educators who have joined from the social science department, I can say, and they can really update us. So it's called collaboration, right? Theme based scrapbooks and short films. Develop research, planning, execution, and presentation skills. So these skills add on. Promotes ownership. We are able to take responsibility. This is model and we have to take care of it. And naturally we become more empathetic also, okay, right? If we are make a model, then we need to preserve the heritage also. So it's multidisciplinary and it's adding. Art integration, now we have age appropriate art integration, age appropriate strategies for different levels. See what I can do, maybe a child of 1 or 3 years cannot do. So age appropriate strategies are there. Now what are these? Foundation or ECC stage. Now what is this ECC stage or the foundational stage? That is from 3 years to 8 year. And यहाँ पर how we can do? See, I am bilingual so that आपको ज़्यादा क्लियर हो. आई होप it clarifies all your doubts, right? So the storytelling, song, puppet, we all enjoy. So kids का तो आप सोच ही लो, they will enjoy much more and beyond our expectations. And what happens? Focus on sensory rich play based learning. So play based learning होगा, बच्चे को मजा आएगा, उसको नहीं लगेगा मैं स्कूल में आ गया हूँ. And what all we can imbibe in it, add to it, is storytelling, rhyme, song, like doing yoga, PT. All these are very very important. Puppet play, picture cards or flashcards, which we say. Now clay, playing with clay, right? Simple craft activities are also very important, and these activities help in joyful learning, meaningful learning. Now middle stage, if I'm talking about now, so shift to project based and skill. Now we need to harness, we need to discover the hidden talent. हमें पता चल रहा है हमारे बच्चे के अंदर ये स्किल है ना, how we can develop it. Include poster making, script writing, right, role play, folk art, need to explore, and collaborate craft project. We need to collaborate with other schools, with other classes, with other areas. Use music, thematic compositions, model making, map based art should be there. Now activities encourages teamwork. Now when teamwork is there, naturally it helps in critical thinking, creativity across all subjects. Now coming up, secondary school. Now what should be there? That is the higher classes, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. What should be there? Integrate advanced multidisciplinary art based task, right? जब multidisciplinary मैं बोल रही हूँ, it means उसमें बहुत सारे subjects आ सकते हैं, right? Encourages theater, theater is there, debate, script development, digital media creation, right, making PPTs, PowerPoint presentations, documentaries, etc. Use design thinking, graphic illustrations, multimedia presentations can also be added to it. Focuses on analytical thinking, communication, it adds, right, thinking becomes very skillful. Communication develops innovation, new ideas come, and they are able to face the challenges with the real world situation. Art forms for integration in India. Now our culture is rich in heritage, and let's move ahead. Indian classical and folk dance, right, like Bharatnatyam, Bihu, Ghumar. Use forms like Bharatnatyam, Kathak, Bihu, Ghumar to teach rhythm, culture and expression. Now every child has different skills, so NEP 2020 is telling us to just trigger those skills. Dance movement can help explain concept like pattern क्या है, sequence क्या है, festivals क्या है. Regional diversity we are able to understand. Encourages coordination, confidence and cultural appreciation, right? So we become more thoughtful. Now Indian music, like, so integrate Hindustani music, bhajans, folk songs, help students to understand. अब mood हमें समझ में आता है, right? And what happens? We are able to become more thoughtful. Just a second. Theater and storytelling. So these are also, and how it can be done through puppet, through Katputli, street play, folk dance, painting styles also help us, and it can be Madhubani, it can be worldly, it can be Patcharitra. Now craft and textile, block printing, embroidery, etc. helps a lot in dealing with some situations. Now strategies and methods of implementation. Activity based learning होनी चाहिए, integrated lesson plans में होना चाहिए, that should be there. Art integrated worksheet should be there, कि worksheets are there and that some part of art is there. Use of local community artists and cultural visits, like if we are involving the children with the local artist, with the local community, it will help them to add on to their knowledge. Integration, assessment and project work. So in assessment, in project work, not only in doing but in real classroom situations also, it should be added. Now, teachers' role in art integration shift from content delivery to facilitation. Now, instead of telling them, they need to become more explorer. Training and upskilling of the teacher, so which is very very important, like we are learning through the webinars and through the seminars, so teachers training is important. Collaborating with art experts and co-teachers, like in my school only I have seen there are teachers who are very very skillful, so we need to collaborate with them. We found many to in the workplace. We are documenting and reflecting the students art integrated work. See, everyone loves appreciation, and we need to display the work so that they become eager learners and explorers. Inclusive equitable learning throughout art. Now, what is the supporting learners with diverse need? There are learners with special needs also. We need to support them, right? Now, how we can support art integration helps them a lot. Bridging language barriers through visuals and performing arts. See, when we see the thing, even if we are not of that specific language, we are able to understand, right, what is being conveyed. So, naturally, art integration helps us, encouraging participation of students from rural tribal communities. They have far more rich culture and heritage. We need to involve them in our classroom experiences, right? So it will help them to add on to our knowledge, promoting gender sensitivity and social harmony. And how we can making group projects, performings, like if a boy and girls are working together, so they need to understand art-based discussions, role plays can help us in this field. Infrastructure and resource support. Yes, it's true that we are lagging at certain places. So art corners and resource rooms in school should be there. Access to art material and digital tools. See, digital tools which are at cheaper cost and which our organization can provide should be there, so that we can use them and we can upskill our students. Collaborations with museum, it's not necessary that all the necessary things should be there in your premises. So we need to collaborate with the museums, with the art academies and with the NGOs in order to make our learners for lifelong. Government initiative and funding. Now, if I talk about Samagra Siksha, so it's what it is all about. I will just touch. It's see, it's a governing body, and there are different governing bodies in different districts, or you can say different states, and it provides funding. It's helped the students. It helps the teachers also to upskill themselves, and it gives grants and loans also, so that the necessary things can be done in the school. Art integration in teachers training and B.Ed program. So in B.Ed program, whether it's NCRT or SCERT. Now, what is SCERT? It's developed curriculum for teachers training, right? So SCERT develops curriculum, right? So basically it deals with upskilling, with teachers training. So it's very important that we should associate with such bodies. Mandatory art-based workshop and certification. So we are doing, right, and we have also learned, and you are also learning. So art based workshop should be there. Internship projects and peer presentation with art elements. Task include lesson planning, model making, theme boards, like स्कूल में भी हम करते हैं ना थीम बेस्ड बोर्ड्स. तो अगर दशहरा है तो सब जगह दशहरे के ही बोर्ड्स हैं, different ideas are being expressed. So that is a beautiful idea. Now, अब जब सब कर लिया, then we need to assess also, right? And how we can assess the students in this specific field? That is learning process versus project based evaluation. Now, assessment should focus on how students learn the process. So we need to be minute observers, right? Whether the student has actually done it or not. We need to fix certain rubrics for creativity, for effort, for collaboration, and for reflection. We cannot just value the final product. There are different phases, different steps, and we have to see बच्चा किसमें ज़्यादा अच्छा है. Self and peer assessment, right? Encourage students to review their own work. बच्चा अपना काम तो देखे ही और दूसरे का भी देखे. तो what will happen? They will have a sense to appreciate the work of other people also, and it should be included included in the report card. When we talk about holistic report card, then this art integration part should also be coming in the report card. Now, success stories, we all love success stories, innovations, art integrated classroom projects across India, right? A regional model like Zilla Parishad school using folk arts, so unka display should be there. Case studies from CBSE art integrated project submission, which we every year do in our school, and you might also be practicing the same. Students exhibition, art melas and virtual galleries. So these are important parts, and we all are doing it. So first let me forward you the link for the feedback form. In the meantime, you can fill. I have forwarded the link. Um, just a second. I will open the chat later on. Right now, you can open the link and you can fill the feedback form. And moving ahead, challenges and stories. See, with everything, we face certain challenges like lack of trained teachers are there, right? So, faculty and awareness should be there. Time constraint is there. Sometimes we have to finish off with the curriculum. Budget limitation is there. So, we need to work upon it from the beginning of the session. Future of art integration. Now, if I'm talking about future of art integration, NEP 2020's vision for creativity and innovation, that creativity should be there, my dear educators. Promoting global competencies, it should not be only at our country level, it should be at a global level. Integrating with SDGs, that is the SDG goals and value education. Preparing children for future in creative industries. We are preparing them as lifelong learners, my dear friends. And empowering education is very, very important role, and leadership again plays an important role. We need to encourage students. Art is not extra, it's essential. It's very, very essential in our day to day life. Now I would like to thank each one of you for joining me today. Have a good day, and I hope you will take it forward and imbibe it in your class. And now if there is any query, please feel free to ask me. I'm opening the chat box, uh, or you can mail me at navigatemindfully@gmail.com. Hope this session was fruitful for you all. Um, there are two chats. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm forwarding the feedback form once again. If there is any other query,